Got Eddie's little train. This is Eddie's train. Good morning. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope you're doing well. It's Saturday. Woohoo! Weekend's here and I'm doing this thing, right? I love doing this stuff. This is great stuff. And it is episode 96. And I forgot to write my notebook so I can write down what I talk about. But anyway, it's episode 96. Today, since it's Saturday, and I went out, got some TikTok things I want to do today. Then my wife said I got other things I got to do first. However, being 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, I'm up early so I can get stuff done. And happy holidays for those in India. Hope everybody's doing well. Start their partying. So today I just want to talk about in the picture, like critics are everywhere. I showed my kid the little train picture I drew the other day. My 6-year-old Eddie, he drew that as a no, Dad, that's not a train. You have to draw it like this, and he drew it. So I wanted to share that with you. Critics everywhere. So I did get this. I got this rugby ball because we always talk about daily scrum. So I'm going to talk about two things about the talking stick and daily scrum. Right, it's a nice one. So Irish rugby ball. But I'm actually going to end up giving it. Well, let's start it off here. So this is 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Talk about Agile and Scrum and just have a good work-life balance and make it fun. And we talk about coaching and Agile and different things, business stuff and everything like that. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about daily scrum and talk about the talking stick a little bit. And then I'm gonna really go into the working agreement from our coach. So I'm going to talk about that, and that should take up the whole show since our show is set to be 15 minutes long. So it's like a daily scrum. So when everybody says, hey, daily scrum is not enough time, I'm like, hey, man, I get people just listen for 4 minutes on the show. So you tell me 15 minutes is too short? Tell that to everybody else on the social media. But that's what it is, right? And we make little pieces. So, but people don't understand that. So daily scrum. So, you can have a talking stick so one person talks at a time. I got this. I was going to show it and blow it up. However, I found out on Monday talking to my neighbor that he's getting the citizenship today. I didn't know. He didn't tell anybody. It's all low key. He's an Irish guy. He's coming to become a U.S. citizen. Been a few years, right? And I'm like, I'm going to give him the rugby ball because I know he likes rugby because that's the guy house I was at the other day watching rugby on television. And I said, it'd be cool. I was thinking I was going to give it to him his birthday. I said, I spent a little more money on it, but you know what? It's pretty cool. It's an Irish rugby because he's always still going to be Irish, even though he's going to be a U.S. citizen. And I think he'll like it. Anyway, it's just give somebody, sometimes just make them happy and smile rather than think, what is it in for me? Nothing. Just here, dude, take it. Share it with your kids. I'm going to get another one because I did enjoy rugby. And I'm going to teach my kids. And maybe we'll get a team between his kids and my kids. We'll do flag rugby or something like that. That would be fun with the kids because it's such a good sport. Anyway, but on the daily scrum, so I held a meeting the other day on the daily scrum. And, I do it every once in a while. I thousands of daily scrums and make them really to a point and on target. And I did one for a group of managers the other day. And my one manager's like, we still got 30 minutes left in the schedule. I'm like, no, we're done. That's what a Scrum Master is supposed to do. No, we talked about the things that everybody worked on that I know as a Scrum Master. I went around after we talked about those things, see if there was anything else that anybody in the room needed to talk about. And there was nothing left to talk about, part of what we're doing. And I said, okay, cool. You guys are off. We're done here. I'll send some stuff and I'll put out emails for the next one and follow up with everybody because we're just starting to get this team rolling. And the one manager's like, but you have a half hour. We should talk about all the other things on the backlog. I'm like, no, just talk about the things we actually worked on. We don't talk about in a daily scrum. You don't talk about everything on the planet, just what was worked on and to the point and has value. And that's it. And then you walk away. And I think it blew his mind. Boom, boom, right? It's like, oh my God. And I don't think everybody got it yet. They'll get it, right? The first time they're like, well, we usually do an out briefing. We talk about everything on the planet. We have a conversation. Daily Scrum is not by having a conversation like as the water cooler or coffee, right? It's not a coffee conversation. It is what was worked on, what can the rest of the team benefit on, and do you need help anything? Are you blocked on anything? And just can somebody go help them with the blocker? And what do you want to do after the meeting or later today? In this case, it's a weekly kind of thing. We went from talking about everything and nothing, just killer meeting, to I'm going to be like this. And they're going to be like, the reason why I do this is like, why are you doing this? Why are you acting like Scrum Master? And I told everybody on the team, all my other fellow coaches, I said, is it okay? And goes into our working agreement if I act as the role of a Scrum Master for this group? And they're like, go for it, Greg, do it. Because they all know. So they all know what it's like. So I'm scrumming them. And what's going to happen is the managers are going to experience what a real Scrum Master does in the meetings and how these meetings should really be operated. So this is step one into a longer plan to help transform a little bit. But I want to show them what a daily Scrum really is about and how effective it can be. So that's what I want them to show, so that when they go to meet their teams and they talk to their employees and Scrum Masters and things like that work for them, they go, yeah, I know what it's supposed to be, but what you're doing is not what it's supposed to be, because I went to Greg's Scrum team and it's a lot different. So I have method to my madness and how I transform people's ideas and thoughts, and I do it by doing it and not just preaching it. So we tell them how Scrum works, and then sometimes I run it and show them how it's going to be. But you have to be careful too. You don't want to overrun people, but that's another discussion. We'll talk about that later. So that was Daily Scrum, and just being on it and not just have conversation. And that's why people have invented like the talking stick, like doing the rugby ball. And it's just so one person talks. It's not let's all have talk and we'll talk to each other. No, it's topic, 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 topic. And it's about what you did. And then if you have questions on that topic, you can ask a question. But what the Scrum Master's job is to make sure that discussion doesn't breach into a super long thing. And with that, we're already at 7 minutes, so we're like halfway through. So again, this is show 96. 4 more shows to 100, right? It's pretty cool. The other day, I think I posted I had like over 181 video clips in YouTube. It was pretty big. All right. Agile working agreement, because this weekend I want to get my website up before my wife comes down and tells me to do something. There are 6 things in my working agreement. Number 1 is asking permission. If your Agile coach does not ask you permission to coach you before they do it, they are not an Agile coach. That is a key thing in coaching, is asking permission. And I've had managers ask, what do you have to ask permission for? You have to ask permission, because if they're not ready, you can't coach them, right? Confidentiality is another thing. So what goes between me and my coachee stays between the two of us. I want them to understand that I'm here to help them, and not, yes, I want the company, but part of that activity of confidentiality, I will ask them permission if there's anything during a coaching agreement or with the team. And I do it 2 levels. So we're talking one-on-one right here. That would be good to share with other Scrum Masters, BAs, product owners, anybody else. I would ask them permission before doing so. And get their buy-in. So that's confidentiality. And I had one manager actually tell me, what do you talk about during the I said, I'm not telling. I actually had an argument with one manager about confidentiality between me and my coachee. And it was a loud conversation. Let me just put it that way. Respect, respecting each other. Don't talk down to them. I'm at your level. When I coach, I'm not, coach. Like, you go in a lot of these bureaucratic corporations, managers up here, people down here, manager people, right? Manager way up top in the air and the person's way down low. For those in the podcast world, you can't see my hands flying across the screen. But you have mutual respect. You're at the same level. We're just having a conversation, trying to walk through. I'm your coworkers. I'm someone you can bounce ideas off of and come up with some ideas. And I'm not going to critique you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to be a sounding. I might ask you some questions, and why would you do that? How is that going to affect that? And just ask you some questions to get you think about other avenues as part of that discussion. But that's it. We're on the same level. In fact, you're higher than me, because in most cases, as a coaching, you know more technically about what you're doing and all that kind of stuff, and I'm below you. So a lot of times I'm actually below you on that stuff. Being prepared. When I do coaching sessions, I like to have an agenda. And if someone comes to me, I like them, like, I'll email them some topics, or if I'm going to talk about the burn down chart or how they're doing daily scrum, I'll pull a link and I'll send it to them. But that's being prepared for that coaching session. It's just not writing in blank into the coaching session and have nothing there. I do believe you want to think about it a little bit and have great value out of that coaching session. So being prepared. Open. Open, I can do an entire show, and I probably will do an entire show. So that's 5. Number 5 is open. There's still one more left to go. One more left. Um, Being open. That has a lot of context to it. Everything to being open for the person saying no. I don't want to get coached right now. I'm not mentally ready for it. I got too much stuff on the plate, being open for that. Open for ideas, right? I mean, seriously, we could do, maybe and I think I said that on previous episodes. One day we're going to have a topic, talk about open. What does being open mean? And maybe we'll go into all that. I mean, it's an entire blog post, right? So being open to being told no, open to being asked new ideas, open to new thought, right? New ways of thinking, something you may not have thought about before. For me, open as a coach, you know, I've seen coaches that barge into the door, right? And I'm going to be coach. I'm going to be the coach, and I'm going to tell you what to do, and blah, blah, blah. My coaches, if no, I will ask you a challenging question. I like, okay, I'm not open to being coach right now. Um, when I'll ask you when, and if you tell me I don't know, I said, well, there is nothing wrong with now saying, well, give me a time factor. Do next week, next month, 2 months from now. If it's 2 months from now, I said, then you really need some coaching, because if you're that busy that you can't handle coaching, I'm just going to tell you, you got a lot of problems going on. And at some point, if you don't tackle them, they are going to stress you out and you're going to crash, right? But that's openness to that discussion. Honesty, open to honesty, right? Sometimes the people can't handle honesty. It's like, be like, why are you doing this? Doing what? Why are you working 80 hours a day? Or 80 hours a week, or whatever it is. Weekends, every weekend. I was in a meeting the other day. It was really nice that the manager was actually back, and he says, Mike, people are not working weekends again because you screwed up. I appreciate. I gave him a thumbs up. And I said, good job, man. You got to protect your people. I wish more Scrum Masters would do that. But, the manager did a good thumbs up on that one. And then the last one, the 6th one. So let's keep it. It's a one-page little sheet. It's not a long, glorious thing. However, I can write a blog post that's long and glorious. I think my first blog post would be very simple and what it is. And then the follow-up. When you do have the meeting, just like any meeting. So this is the facilitation class, right? Take the facilitation class that I offer with IC Agile. That's a plug. But follow-up. And this was important. I learned this. You have a meeting. A meeting for the sake of having a meeting is worthless, right? You need action items and things at the end of the meeting to follow up what to do next. So at the end of the coaching session, closing the conversation, like to have, what is the next step? What are you going to do as a coachee? What am I going to do as a coach? And so we get some action items. And usually when I'm done the coaching session, I send a follow-up email or a message, just kind of summarizing what we talked about, and mostly just summarizing, not necessarily conversation, but the action items. As long as the action items are good, because you always don't know where email is going to go. You don't write stuff that doesn't should be there. But follow up with an action item. When's our next meeting? Next week, topics, things we didn't get to finish, whatever that would be. But that follow up. So you need that closure on the conversation. So those are the 6 things that go in there, right? Because I want them to know there's going to be follow-up to the meetings. And I write this down because saying this verbally is different than writing it down. And with that, we're at 15:04 mark in this show. And this is 5am Mester Scrum. Please like and subscribe. We are on TikTok, by the way. And I'm going to try to get some videos out today if I can steal the kids from my wife. But she says we have to clean the house. So we'll see how that goes. I got some ideas, got some thoughts. Let's playing with it. Let's play it around. It's funny. 5am Mester Scrum. Please like and subscribe. Give us some thoughts, some questions. I know I got a question on in YouTube, and we're going to go through that question this weekend and see if I can get it, something for the next show and respond to them on YouTube. And hey, again, everybody, all my friends in India, hope you have a great holiday, and I hope you enjoyed it. And be the light, be happy, right? Part of the whole thing is about being happy. It's not an artificial happy. We want you to be happy inside, not just like, yeah, everything's great, you know? No, everything's not great. Yeah, everything's great. No. Tell me what's going on here. Why were you stressing? So with that, happy scrumming. Have a great weekend and enjoy the holidays. Bye. Take care. See ya.